Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you could see me. I'm going to give this a try. How are you guys? How is everybody? Perfect. All right. Okay. We'll wait for a few minutes for everybody to show up. Yeah, I was here at 9:01. You're right. Thank you for coming here for the truth. All right. I'm going to wait for just a couple minutes. I want to know where everybody's from. Where is everybody from? We got definitely some people might be in Australia, New Zealand. Let's see where you're from. How many people we got in here? 54. We got 66. Thank you all for joining me today for the live session. I'm going to try to do this every day if I can. I want to keep this concise. We'll keep it to 30 minutes. First things first, we're going to look at what's going on in the markets because a sell signal has been activated on the S&P 500. I'll get into that. Then we're going to talk about the economy briefly. All of these things will be very brief, and then we're going to get into the Q&A. So hold on to your Q's, and I'll hold on to my A's, and we'll talk about that in a minute. All right. Ontario, Seattle, California. Look at this, all over. Argentinian living in Spain. Excellent. Toronto. Good stuff. Idaho, Philly. Okay, Vancouver. Awesome. Awesome. Wyoming, Chile. Excellent. Germany, Vancouver. We got 124 people in here live. I want to say hello to everybody. We got a lot coming in right now. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, Fresno. How are you? Get a sip of water. Robert. Got people from UK. That's an early morning for you. Western Australia. Hey, Mark, how are you? You made it. That's good. Mexico. Excellent. Wow, California, Philippines. Wow, Manila. Okay. All right. Good stuff. So let's do it. Let's talk about what's going on with the stocks. Let me just pull this off. All right. So, when I'm looking at right here, hope you can see that, is essentially, I noted this, I talked about it on Instagram and so on, but there's a sell signal that I've been looking at, and there's two things. So there's multiple things, and we'll talk about all of this right now, okay? I'll just make sure that you guys are in. We got about 226 people. So look at this. S&P 500, if I zoom in really, really tight on this, you'll see it maybe a bit better. I hope you guys can see this. This red line right here, that's the 20-day moving average. So when we're talking about day traders, when we're even looking at swing traders, they're going to be looking at the 20-day moving average. And now we've actually closed below that. So you could see where the day started off, where it ended up. And the S&P at about 4309 is below the 20-day moving average. We haven't broken below that on the following day, so you never know. It could obviously find support around that level. None of these support levels are ever concrete, but anyway, that's the point. If you look back further, the last time this happened, it actually touched. You could see the wick here just barely touching the 20-day moving average, and then it got pulled up. These are daily candles that you're looking at, and then you could see what happened with the 50-day moving average, and of course, it found support right around there as well. It doesn't often fall below the 20 in the recent past. So the fact that it did just shows you where we are at. The dollar, which has been very strong recently, wasn't so good in today's trading session. So, I think that's something that we should be paying attention to regardless of what we think. Now, let me see if I can get my face in here as well. All right. All right. There we go. It's a little better. So what I'm looking at here with the dollar is to see the continued strength. That is the expectation. And ultimately, this is the whole, I would say the whole tech industry, QQQ being represented right here, is sort of taking the charge. We'll see what happens. Commodities at the same time. This is something that over time had been growing rapidly. And then over this last little period, you've seen things like lumber and so on come down. Oil had done quite well, but as we connect into the economy here, I just wanted to talk about the fact that OPEC plus Saudi Arabia had said, oh, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Okay, so this had obviously put downward pressure on oil. You could see where it peaked out. This is WTI, and it was at about $76 a barrel. It is now sitting at $71 a barrel. So we should be watching this because this has an impact on what happens in the economy. If the prices get too high, that's of course going to push this down. All right. S&P 500, the sell signal here is down at the bottom with what they call the MACD. The MACD, moving average convergence divergence. As soon as you see the histogram move into red, essentially when these two lines cross over each other, that is bearish, at least in the short term. So I'm seeing this right now. We'll see what happens as it goes. There's earnings, which are really the big talk of the town today. And so, we will have to find out what comes of this. I'm going to show you here, if I can, to look at my other screen. See if I can pull it up. Apparently not. I'm going to do this really quickly, and then we're gonna take Q&A. All right, guys. Let's look at this. All right. Can you see that? There we go. Yeah, we're good. So you can see earnings could be the biggest driver for markets in the week ahead as investors watch bonds. Bond market is big right now. You got to understand what's happening here. Just quickly, I noted this. I'll just read it to you quickly. The decline in the 10-year Treasury yield had surprised forecasters this summer, and some strategists say they're watching it in case it's signaling that there could be trouble ahead. So we'll keep an eye on that in the Money GPS videos. I just wanted to touch on that really quickly, and now we're going to do Q&A. If anybody has any questions related to what I just talked about or anything in general, please drop them here. Let's talk. All right. All right. We came here for the truth, not to you. I'm not sure what that is exactly. Ireland. I'm blocked. I don't know what you're blocked from. Yes, I'm planning on doing live every day at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Definitely join up. How are Canadians affording real estate? Tapping into HELOC from Bank of Mom and Dad. Yeah, basically nobody's really affording it. They're just getting by. There's a lot of fraudulent paperwork, that type of thing right now. I mean, average people just can't afford it. It's impossible. All right. If we sell, what can we buy? You have to have what they call risk parity. Okay, so you have like the Ray Dalio's all-weather portfolio, which is something that I would consider to be, as far as the general, the investors and the financial managers and so on. If you look at what they talk about in diversified, it's like 60-40 bonds, and now that has gone down to more like 80-20. But Dalio's all-weather portfolio, in my opinion, is much better. Not that I'm suggesting you take his advice or anything. Buy AMC. Okay, good luck. Gold, and right here, gold and silver. These two right here are obviously beneficial to have, but it's part of a portfolio. How much of, what percentage? 7.5% in the all-weather portfolio? Is it 10% like some others suggest? I don't know. It's hard to determine that. What do you think of crypto? Dogecoin? I don't know if that's a joke. Yeah, so crypto, should I buy some? I can't give financial advice, but what I say about crypto is basically that it's a system that will definitely change over the years. A lot is happening, and we're still in the infancy, and I think most of the projects will fail, even some of the bigger ones. So I'd be very careful, but certainly it's going to grow. We know that. In terms of the value of it, I don't know, but certainly, how much of it is being used and so on is definitely going to grow. DeFi has a chance against the CDBs. No, the central bank digital currencies are going to be used, will be forced to use it, right? Whereas the private cryptos will be totally up to us. Crypto never goes down. I'm not sure. Is this a joke as well? Hash rate has started to level out. Yeah, it's more about like the price. You got to understand. There's the cryptocurrency side that is the function. That is how we use it, how we interact with it. And then there's the cryptocurrency side that's speculative. So we're never going to be able to determine, the ratios and everything. But certainly when you see cryptocurrencies falling, 50% in a short period of time, there's a lot of speculation. But if you really love crypto, then that shouldn't affect you at all. Because if the price comes down to, let's say, Bitcoin at 5,000 again, are you going to be worried about that? If you really love crypto, I don't think so. I don't think you should be worried. All right. It's been a ride. I believe stocks are going down, metals up. Certainly possible. Certainly possible. Silver gold is great to have because if the banks and the ATM shut down for database syncing, you still get cash. Yeah, of course. You need everything. I mean, that's the whole point, right? Delusional hopium. Tether, there's a lot of problems from what I understand in the back. I'd be careful. I'd be watch out. Aim your camera down. No, I can't change it. Stocks are dangerous at this point. Stay in oil and bank stocks. Well, we got to watch that. We got to watch what's happening exactly. All right. Air Bud? No idea what that is. What do you think of land? What is FPI? Maybe I can't think, but land? Are these? Oh, the stocks. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about those stocks. Agricultural land plays. If you want agricultural land, I would buy agricultural land. I wouldn't buy a stock personally. So that goes for anything. If you want precious metals, you have to buy precious metals. If you want stocks, you should just find the best quality stocks you can. You're never going to get the benefit of agricultural land if you don't own the agriculture, right? So you got to try to get what each thing is most beneficial for. And you do that by getting right to the root. That's the only way. Air Bud is a Disney movie from the 90s. No, I'm not sure about that. Turn your camera off. Okay. Where would you buy land? I would buy good quality land, farmland, outside of the major city centers. Most any city would be reasonable, but I mean, I would look at places that are in need of food, essentially, where you look where there's problems, you provide a solution, right? So if you could sell your products to people who need it, and there is demand there, then that's absolutely what I would do. If you're going to go agriculture, there's some people who have cattle farms and so on. I mean, it's a whole, you can't just buy it without knowing what's really going on. You got to be aware. Really got to be aware. That was a joke. Okay. Canadian farmer here. Land values are topped out, especially if interest rate moves. Yeah, so when you're buying land, in my opinion, you should not be worried about the price. You're buying it for a different reason. So if you're buying stocks and you're speculating on the price to increase, different story. If you're buying land, if you're buying, when you're buying something, you have to understand why you're getting it. You don't buy land because you think the price is going to go higher. You have to buy land because of its stability, because of its ability to, hold wealth and this sort of thing. It's the same with precious metals. You don't buy precious metals because, tomorrow it's going to be, better or so on. So in terms of price, Tesla or BTC, this is two very different things. I can't pick. I wouldn't know. It's totally different. A1 farmland with fresh stream water. That's absolutely true. The reason why I like it is because you've got a place, right? You have a place and you can go there. You can use that stream. You can use the farmland and so on. But do you care if it's worth more tomorrow? You shouldn't, right? Grow useful stuff instead of dumb vineyards. Yeah. Do you think the Fed would be forced to raise rates to curb inflation? Absolutely. I do. But they'll always do it too late. Always too late. By the way, I don't know if anyone's doing, so I'm using a software called StreamYard, and I don't know if this shows the super chat. So I apologize if anybody's doing super chats. Let me know if anybody has. Nationwide. By the way, I'm simulcasting this on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. So this is really cool. It's the first time I've done this. So I'm getting used to all of this. So I'm trying to figure it all out. Nearly time to buy gold and silver mining stocks. Okay, so if you read David Morgan's book, David Morgan's a big time guy in the silver markets, and what he will tell you is that silver trades like a stock. Silver is not necessarily going to be something that you buy because you think silver is going to be worth more tomorrow. If you want the advantages of silver, you have to buy silver. Okay, so I just wanted to make that clear. Is it time to buy the mining stocks? You could see a lot of volatility, huge volatility. So I'd be very careful. If you own land, do not sell. Yeah, why would you sell, right? Absolutely. What is your too late value? Can you clarify what you mean, Alex? Software's working well. Thank you. Thank you. Do you think the Fed will install price caps? There's a limit to what the Federal Reserve can do, but certainly they're going to intervene. Good to see one of my favorite YouTubers. Yes, Dennis, how are you? Michael Burry will be right 2 times. Get rid of useless paper. We'll see what happens. He's been very, very popular recently, saying a lot, I'll tell you that. Own the land equals obtain the patent deed from the city. The house is in. Do whatever you can to get more control. I would say that for sure. All right. Oh, okay. So we got the super chats do come through. Thank you. Brado, I hope I pronounced that correct. Can you do a video on whether BlackRock and Vanguard really own everything or not? And who owns BlackRock and Vanguard? Many memes going around. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about this. And, when you're talking about BlackRock, you're seeing a publicly traded company, and obviously there's shareholders involved and so on. The roots run much deeper than that. You can read about how Vanguard was set up and so on. And, there's a lot to it. I don't know if there's too much value in trying to figure it out exactly. What we should be focused on, in my opinion, is the central banks and what they are doing. The central bank activity is clearly and undeniably the most important factor. You can argue that they are intertwined, and that is absolutely a fact. But I will look into it. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. Bill Gates. That's a trigger. That's a trigger word. Billy G. Yeah. All the farmland. I mean, some suggest that this is just simply him diversifying. He's got all of his wealth in tech, so he's diversifying out of that. I don't know. I think it's more like his experimentation, if you want to call it that. Raising good children, that's for sure. A lot of people these days not to. Thank you, Diego. Yeah. Mining stocks, good for buy and hold. You got to know what you're getting big time, because I think that if we enter a time in which all of the different precious metals start to fall because everything is falling, like if we go into a deflationary environment before going into an inflation, then we are going to see some problems with the mining stocks as well. We want to see basically mining stocks come offline, and then that basically can push the price up. But there's such a long lag time in between, when a mine has to come back online. So they know that. So it puts pressure on the supply and demand fundamentals. Hit the like and subscribe, please. Yes, absolutely. If you could. We got 530 people in here right now. Let the markets fall. It needs to correct. I completely agree with that. Completely. All right. All right. Great content. Help us so much. Do you see rates going to the double digits like in the 1980s? I don't, but I do see them increasing. And the fact is, it doesn't need to increase. like it did back then. Just a few percentage points increase, and it's going to be devastation for the markets and everything else. I really believe that, especially real estate in places like Canada, where you have to refinance your property every so often. So it's 3 years, it's 5 years, depending. And imagine now suddenly rates are much higher. It's going to be just catastrophic, absolutely catastrophic. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that, for the super chats. Thank you for all the work. Absolutely. BG's almost GMO. Yeah. Absolutely could be. All right. Do you think that the Fed is intentionally wanting to move over to a nationalized cryptocurrency to maintain control over the transactions? They do want that. Absolutely. I just wonder, and I've been thinking about this a lot, because you see some of these, the push for central bank digital currencies, but that would skip over the banks, and the banks are shareholders. Some of these banks are shareholders in the Federal Reserve, so they're going to lose out in that way. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this is all going to work out. Looking at this. Let's see. Bitcoin will eat the world with a fork or a spoon. I'm not sure. We'll see. All right. The Kardashians. Yeah, I keep up with the Kardashians. I got to do that because that's the only way to make any sense of this world today. Is the real zombie rate a lot higher than 20%? The amount of corporations that are zombie corporations? It probably is, yeah. When you factor in, if you're doing real accounting, the number is probably much higher. GMOs, yeah, they love them GMOs, tell you that. Bayer Monsanto for a plate on farmland. I wouldn't buy those companies personally. I would say the morality is probably not a good thing. Monero could be okay, but it's certainly at this time, you got to watch it because there's a lot of downward pressure on all crypto. So if you're going to get in now, that you got to know what you're doing. There's no doubt. A lot of downward pressure. Do you see rates going negative in the next crisis? I would say they would probably print more money before they go negative, but anything is possible. Anything is possible. Hi from Stockton. How are you? Inclusive capitalism is Rothschild's roots, its alliance to the Vatican, or where they have. Yeah, that's a speculation, but it wouldn't surprise me. I've heard many things like this before. What happens to Bitcoin? I'm not sure what the reference is. DQ live stream. Yes, absolutely. I got to go for 10 more minutes. We got 589, almost 600 people in here right now. So this is awesome. I want to thank everybody for joining today. Yesterday, received all these super chats. It was fantastic to see how much support there is out there. Really want to thank you. This thing is cutting off my face over here, but it's the only way I can get this camera to be on. How would you expect the transition to a CBDC to occur? It's going to be in the back end. We wouldn't even know the difference. You as a consumer wouldn't even know the difference. How does the performance of foreign stock market affect ours? It's always a domino effect. So whatever happens in the developing markets then comes around. Hello from SoCal. How are you? How long will they keep hold of the paper markets and silver? Forever, I believe, probably. Seems like a realistic thing. They've talked a lot about the Basel III and so on. I mean, did Basel II do anything? Did Basel I do anything? Does anybody even look at that? I don't think so. I need food. Sean, you hungry? With the bond market looking at the inflation, do you think inflation will overcome and can't? I would say the bond market, yeah, certainly looking that way. I don't know what's going to happen though in the near future. We'll see, because there's two sides pulling right now. Price inflation, it's there. We know that. Sit on a phone book. Okay. Sure. Hey, hope you're having a good day. Thanks for what you do. I appreciate you watching. Any safe place to put extra cash at this point? I would actually, this is you asking, like I'm asking, if I was talking to my friend, I would say essentially to invest in a business, invest in your own business. That's the absolute, there's no question about it. That's the best way. Purple Innovations Inc. mattress hiring 800 for the FEMA camps. Whoa. FEMA camps, can't talk about that. Take on LIBOR. They've been putting a lot of, I would say a lot of focus on this because quite frankly, the changeovers happening and all this, but it's an interest rate, hundreds of, like, a lot of different things are using the LIBOR rate, particularly when you look at the 3-month LIBOR rate. That's kind of the main one. And it just moved. To be honest, I haven't looked at it in a while, but ultimately, I would say keep an eye on what the central banks are doing more than the LIBOR right now. I think that's key. Monero's awesome. Yeah, it's good. There's no doubt. I don't know what the future of it will be. Could not use Google. Forgot my password. Money in the markets versus staying in cash currently. What's your take? I think you got to make that decision for yourself. There's no doubt about that. If you're in the markets, you got to do what's called risk parity. Okay, you have to be protected on the downside as well. There's no doubt. And I would trim some of my winners. That's what I would do. Will U.S. inflation have a global effect? Yes, absolutely, 100%. How is there 600 people here and only 100 likes? Come on, everybody. Hit that like button. You got to do that. This video, by the way, will post afterwards over onto YouTube. It will be available to everybody else. I can't stay on forever, though. It would be nice to do a long one. All right. Thanks for posting. Do you have any opinion on Digibyte? I don't. All of the cryptocurrency, you got to watch what happens with Bitcoin. You got to watch what happens with Ethereum secondary, and then all of the others. No matter what the tech, like, here's again, clarify. We're talking about the price. Or are we talking about the technology? Two very different things. That's why it's difficult to talk about this. Okay. Bill Gates, China. Yeah. Like spike. Let's do it. Let's do it. In this app, I don't think I could see the likes. Can't see it in here. Good time to buy a house. If you're buying for your personal reasons, then you can do it like virtually at any moment. Okay. If you're buying an investment property, you got to be very careful. A lot of the places are simply too far overvalued. There's no way to deny that. I mean, look at Toronto, Vancouver, even the places that have come down significantly from their peak. It doesn't matter because they're just ridiculous right now. Smash that like. Let's do it. Let's do it. Are you concerned over inflation or deflation? I'm concerned over both. What do I think is more likely to happen? Well, we're already seeing inflation. We're already seeing that. So I think that that's probably the big one for us. I hit the like. Thank you. I appreciate that. Make that 400. All right. Is electricity the future? I think that for people, we're talking about electric cars. I think there's going to be a huge demand for electric vehicles. They're forcing it to happen regardless. But I believe that the demand on the energy grid is going to increase, and that's going to cause more blackouts and brownouts and so on. Except Canada government subsidies to keep zombie businesses alive. Yeah, of course. They're going to bail out the too big to fails. They always will. The only point is that you will be paying for that. They'll say they'll increase taxes on the rich and so on, but we know it's not true. I heard on another YouTube site today that the French police are now marching into the streets. We'll see. See what happens. A lot of people are unhappy and they're taking it to the streets. It's not the only place. I mean, look at what happened over these years. All right, already covered that. Inflation should start hitting the fan around 1 year. We'll see. 400 likes. Thank you. Thank you. We're at 650 people in here right now. Okay. All right. All right. Dumb Money Media. Thank you. I appreciate this, the super chat. Long time watcher, man. Could you please look up my Unstoppable Silver Train video? Love any comment, good or bad from you. Keep the silver squeeze going and keep stacking. Absolutely. Check that out. If I can, I'll post a comment in there. Unstoppable Silver Train. Absolutely. Thank you for watching. Learning Amazon thanks to you. Yes. Okay. So everybody, what Isaac is saying right here, I created a free course, completely free, for people to learn about Amazon. My hope when I created it was I'll create it and I'll get less haters because I'll have solutions for them, but nobody really took it that way. So I haven't checked in a while. There's like 10,000 people in that course for free. Like, you don't understand, like people charge $1,000 plus for their course. They do offer like more mentorship, which I don't do because I don't have the time. It's a free course, but check that out. Okay. Free course, theamazongps.com. A lot of electric cars in the US run on coal. Yeah, it's not all what they claim, right? How it's green, but how did you get it out of the ground and so on? There's a lot of intricacies there. I don't know what the long term they're going that route, regardless, whether we like it or not. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I love the haters, by the way. It's great for the channel because any like thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever it is, it supports me because it's engagement, right? So that's what they like. And actually, if you get a lot more thumbs down, I think it pumps up your channel too. Righto. Vid of best investments for future electric economy. I should do a video about it. I should just do a video about it. I posted on my Instagram a whole bunch of companies that are surrounding the electric vehicles and so on. You could check that out. It was within the last week or two, but I should just do a video about it too. Thank you very much for the super chats there, the donations. I appreciate it. Let's see, why would the Fed destroy the currency it already controls and lose that advantage? Yeah, that is the thing. Like, I think people are they're really pushing for this central bank digital currencies, and they're not really making a clear case for it. So I don't understand the desire, because they already have the dollar. I mean, it's the Federal Reserve note. Maybe that's why they're not in a hurry to move over to it, at least the Federal Reserve, right? Got out of my S&P long position today because it hit my stop loss. They could rally again on the upside, but it's too small to justify, in my opinion. Some commodities position doing great. Yeah, for sure, commodities right now. Full of passion. Thank you. Thank you. The harder they troll, the harder GPS rolls. That's good. That's right. You're the man. I like how you started doing the face bubble with your vids a while back. Yeah, some people hate it, actually, which is okay. I don't... you can't please everybody, right, when you're doing this. So how do you conduct your research? Any tips for conducting your own research? Yeah, so I spend several hours a day, every single day, 365 days a year, just always digging in. And then I open up like 50 tabs at once. And from those tabs, I start to basically take away ones that are unnecessary or not needed, or they have some political bias to them. I take all those away, and then I'm left with a whole bunch, and I look into that. And then based on those, I find supporting evidence. Okay, so it's really, really key. I always try to find the supporting evidence. VA disability, I was wondering if you think this will disappear in a fiat currency reset collapse, much like pensions and such. I can't speculate, to be honest with you. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. They don't care, in a sense, they don't care about people. We know that. So it could be all at once. I think the pensions might be getting slashed first, though. I really do believe that. Andy, buy Tesla. It holds 6 different companies. Okay. Thank you, Andy, for the super chat. What's your thoughts on GME? Why is it still trading at current levels? Will it ever go back to the $10 price? A lot of people are simply just holding and waiting to see. Anything that's really speculative for the average person, it's not worth getting in, because you're basically just hoping that something's going to happen. Instead, if you were doing swing trading during a period, you'd probably be more profitable if you're successful at that. Okay, so you got to know how to swing trade properly. I did an interview with Profit Market. It's a YouTube channel you could check out, and I would highly recommend looking at that first. Profit Market, and that is not sponsored, by the way. Pitfall occurs when an interviewer delves into information and emotions interviews may be incapable of addressing. So, yeah. Live in an emerging economy. In the case of economic crash, do you think it's a good idea to buy the dollar? The dollar will, as bad as it is structurally, I would say that it's still better than a lot of the other currencies. You still have strong currencies, Singapore, Switzerland. There's not that many, but those are generally much stronger currencies, but they can weaken them at any time. We see how they peg them to the euro and so on. We know how this works. Over 500 likes. 500 likes, but there's almost 700 people in here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get it up there. Shazam. Started mushroom farming. Oh, this is really good, by the way. Okay, check this out. Look at this comment. Started mushroom farming, doesn't require artificial light to grow indoors like veggies. Grow anything. Number one, you can grow it to eat it, but you can grow it to sell it. There are restaurants that are always looking for this stuff. New restaurants popping up. They're looking for suppliers. They're looking for mushrooms. And you know what? They don't want to have to rely on Mexico, especially now. Now is really key. They don't want to say, well, I got to buy my mushrooms from Mexico. I got to buy them from the US. I got to buy them from Canada, wherever you are, right? They want to get it as locally as possible so then they can better manage it. Oh, I don't need to order, 8 days in advance. I could order 1 day in advance to a restaurant that's worth more money, okay? Big time. Big time. Stock market trended down, but so did gold and silver. Yeah. This is key to understand because gold and silver will not fare well until everything does poorly. Does that make sense? So everything's going to come down. Just like think about 2008, 2009. You start to have gold coming down. Didn't make any sense because the financial system was collapsing. But then it shot up afterwards. So I would really... I think it would be kind of the same. Please hit the like. Thank you, Nancy. What do we got here? What will it take for true? When is this thing going to go? This fall, next spring? I think you're talking about the stock market. It's so difficult to tell. So if interest rates would have risen by now or they would have talked about it, I think it would be more clear. At this point, it's not clear. Definitely not clear. Thank you again. Thank you again for the super chats, guys. I really appreciate that. Any of the donations I get through Patreon, through PayPal, and so on. Thank you for that. I have to get out of California. I'm looking at Arizona, Colorado. Which do you think will not fall apart first? Just way too expensive here, sadly. I know. I've heard from many people. So what I would say is it depends on the area you're going to look at because there's always going to be pockets. So look at an area, find an area that you like. But if you have to, it needs to fit you, right? It can't be just about money because you can go to places and find them probably in California for super, super cheap, but it has to fit you and your desires and what you intend on doing there. So don't just look at those places. I would keep it completely open. If you're already getting on and out, look anywhere. People are moving out of the country too, even for a period of time. Tesla vehicles are luxury items, too expensive and impractical for 95% of the people. I don't know a single person in real life who can really afford it. Social conditioning hype. It is an expensive car. I don't know if we're trying to relate this to the stock itself. And there's a lot of hype around the stock, that's for sure. At 130% debt to GDP, hotter inflation just means the Fed may have to jawbone rate hikes a little more aggressively to keep everyone in the bond market pool. That's about it. Stagflation is here. Many people have argued stagflation. I mean, we don't know. But I would say that if you look at the prices people are paying for stuff, that's inflation right there, price inflation. So I don't know. What do you think about Bitcoin? I talked about this earlier, Carlos. But essentially, my thoughts on all cryptos there's twofold. You got your price and you've got your actual function. If you read the original Satoshi Nakamoto white paper, you get a sense of what Bitcoin is all about. It has changed since, but I think that's kind of the nature of it. People need to be aware of it. But at the same time, I would say that for a lot of people, they're just speculating on the price. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Okay, it is way over time. We're at 39 minutes yet. I don't know if there's any super chats. I have to get to those 100%. Great chat, David. Thank you, Dirk. First smartphones were also too expensive for people. Yeah, there's no doubt. How long will it take for home prices to fall once we see more inventory? I'm in Idaho. It's crazy here. Do you think they'll fall? It will probably slow down and then kind of flatline for a while. If they increase interest rates, then there's a big problem. All right. Tesla taxi cab. Wow, you don't find that too often. Gold and silver are heavily manipulated. Yes, absolutely. The most manipulated assets on the face of the earth. And the Fed, 100%. Absolutely. You're welcome. Thank you for joining today. Oh, here we go. We're getting an all inflation apocalypse dollar crisis beast system bunker me. Yeah, maybe I should do the ZZ Top. How would that be? Do a little ZZ Top if anyone likes ZZ Top. Absolutely. Carlos, be well, David. Appreciate it. Yeah. I thank you guys for tuning in. So after I'm done here, then I got to go in and start to put together the video of the day. That will post in the morning. This is fantastic that I have you guys here. I want to let you guys know right now what's going to happen with the changes. I'm going to do an entire video about this. I'll let you know right now. So I want to get off of this system, still use this website, but I don't want to rely on the advertising money. So what I'm doing is I'm going to sponsors. I'm going to try to get sponsors for the channel. It's going to be like an old school radio plug during the actual episode. No ads. Okay, no ads. I'm going to rely on things like super chats. I'm going to do affiliate marketing. I'm going to do sponsors, and there's going to be no ads because I want to starve them and I don't want to rely on them. Okay, so I'm trying to build my own businesses. I use the insiders. The insiders is something that people should be aware of. And look, I got my little plug right here. So this is my way of connecting to you directly, and I hope you guys appreciate that. Okay. Any suggestions for new YouTube channels? I just started very recently and definitely need some. Okay, number one, this is what I've done since day one. Okay, for anybody wanting to start any sort of social media, number one is your subscribers are everything. You never let them down. If they're asking for something, you do it and you go the extra mile. Reply to them in the comment section. Your subscribers are everything. I was interviewed by, I won't say his name. I was interviewed by somebody a few years ago who was kicked off of YouTube, by the way. And I asked him, hey, you seen a lot of like these comments, rude comments and so on? He said, I don't even look at the comments. I mean, why are you doing YouTube if you're not going to watch the comments? I mean, this is unbelievable. The whole thing is about the community. The whole thing is about sharing knowledge. And the guy said, I don't even look at the comments. Now, maybe he got a lot of hate or something, he didn't want to bother, but I just think it's rude personally because people are watching your videos. So that's the number one thing. Reply to them and then just go with the flow. You do something, you get more thumbs up, you get, go with that route and don't be afraid to change. If you are doing, stuff about the stock market and then you decide one day to do something about cooking, do it. See what happens. See how they react. Don't be afraid to do it because ultimately, one day later, people are going to forget about it. Okay, so just keep doing it. Keep creating. Okay, I do appreciate a reply you gave to a comment of mine once. Absolutely, I love to reply to comments. If I had more time, I would do it even more. I spend time every single day replying to comments. You don't find that often with YouTube channels, and I don't know why. Does reverse repo have the same effect as raising interest rates? No, I don't think so. I'm not sure about the way you're thinking about it, but it just shows you the system is broken. David, you're doing a great job live. I definitely come back. Absolutely. Nancy, thank you. I'm trying to get to more. We're already at 43 minutes. What if the Fed wants to sponsor? Okay, if the Fed wants to sponsor me, okay. Thanks, Heather. Thanks for that. If the Fed sponsors me, I will say no. But if anybody from the Fed wants to do an interview, I will definitely do an interview with anybody from the Fed. I'll love to do an interview with Janet Yellen. If I could sneak one by and they don't really look, I've never tried, but I'm going to try. I want to try to get somebody from the Federal Reserve at least somehow, or the Treasury or something, and play it cool, like as if, we don't know what's going on with them. Yeah, that would be awesome. I can't even keep up with all these comments, guys. This is amazing. I can't stay on. I got to get on the beard. I really do appreciate it. Okay, reply. GSR score. GSR? What is that? What are you referencing there? Is this your credit score? Your credit score, yeah. I mean, it affects you if you're taking out your loan. If you need to take out a loan, but you can improve your credit score or anything like this at any time. So to work on that, I want to do actually a video about that, talking about credit. I think it's important. You should. Okay, so this might be controversial and different from what I say normally, but you should get debt when you can, but you shouldn't use it. Okay, because that might become valuable to you. It improves your credit if you're actually legitimately getting that debt and so on. So Depending on the type of person. If they're the type of person that will use it, and don't do that, because it's gonna be a big burden. Okay. Why are the bankers still here? Not a businessman. We appreciate you, bro. Thank you, T-Bone. God bless the channel. Sell signal. So I don't know if you were at the beginning of this video. I talked about it. You can watch it later. I showed actually the charts, but essentially what we're looking at is the MACD and the 20-day moving average on the S&P 500. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. You think will be I can't say that word, by the way. Delta closing again. I don't think so. I don't think so. Some areas they might like start rolling back what they've been doing. But if you remember, I want to tell you something right now. I don't like talking about this issue on the social media because they let's face it, okay? That's why I want to go off the advertisements, because they block the ads. Anyway, so what I would say is people need to remember what happened last year. We went into summertime, cases went real low. Oh, everything's fantastic. They reopened, and then we got into moving a few months later, and then everything started closing again. Could that happen again? Yes, but I don't think it has anything to do with cases. This is about control. Oops, I said that. How are you invested for all? How are you invested for all the news that you put out? I am very diversified. Live stream, hell yeah, okay. Dollar dies in the moon. Dollar dies because it's too strong, not the other way around. Who knows what's going to happen with the dollar? I mean, long term, it's doomed. It's doomed. Repo market, I didn't check today yet, but last time I checked, it was over $800 billion in a single day. But nobody even cares anymore. The Federal Reserve's balance sheet is at $8 trillion. I mean, stupid. It's stupid. And they're not even the one with the biggest balance sheet. I mean, it's crazy. Thoughts on the multi-residential sector? Yeah, absolutely. Check out Grant Cardone. I mean, I know he's a character, but he's got a lot in it. And even A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, they are into this. I'm telling you right now. And this is probably, depending on the location, like an area like Florida is going to do well for the multi-residential real estate for many factors. Jobs are moving in there versus moving out of there. And you also have a lot of retirees that are going to buy up into this. People want that service, right? And even millennials and stuff too. So I would say that out of all residential, that's gonna do very well long term. Okay, and it's also probably going to drop the least. Oh, and I would say for anybody looking into anything to do with real estate commercial side or residential, watch out how this is connected to the derivatives. Okay, derivatives are a big mess. Thanks for all the hard work, guys. I got to go. 47 minutes is unbelievable. This is great. The questions will come in. Should you buy a Bentley with no money down, hide it in the garage so they can't repo? Absolutely. Why not? Why not? 800 billion. It's true. The Pope bought Dogecoin? Yeah, certainly possible. Certainly possible. Should I be buying altcoins such as ADA? And I can't give advice on what you should buy, but I think that we're in a time in which there's going to be a lot of downward pressure. So I wouldn't get into anything yet, because right now Bitcoin, I haven't checked today, but Bitcoin is around that support level of like 33,000 or so. 30 to 34,000 seems to be like a range. I would want to see it push higher before I move on. Oh my goodness. Okay, Bruce, thank you for the donation, the super chat. I really appreciate that. Okay, will the various central banks succeed in killing BTC? No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. For a lot of people who are thinking about that, Bitcoin and the cryptos are likely here to stay. What happens in the future of this, I don't know. Like, how functional is it? We'll have to see that. The price, I'm not sure. Will it still be around? Probably in the next few years. There's no doubt. I mean, doesn't seem likely it's going to go away. But a lot of people are simply speculating on the price, which is dangerous. If you love Bitcoin, if you're the type of person who loves Bitcoin, you should love it if it went down all the way down to $500, you should love Bitcoin. Okay, that's how I would say. I think Bitcoin, read the original Satoshi Nakamoto white paper, and you get a sense of what I think about and why I think it's great. Been watching over a year. By the way, thank you for the donation here. Been watching for over a year now. thoughts on BlackRock and their plans to work with China on their Silk Road. Somebody needs to finance it, right? We need to work with them, and somebody has to be the middleman. BlackRock is the middleman between the Federal Reserve and the Treasury. I mean, they've, you know, the way this works. Like, people think that China is a different country than the US. It's different than Europe. It's different than Australia. It's nothing but a puppet show. The puppet show, you know, you got the puppet master making the, you know, anyway, you know what I'm saying. We can't be focused on what they are showing us in the media. Don't do that. All of these countries are working together. They're working together. Thank you for the donation on that. Super sticker. Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Is buying paper gold better than getting gold coin? No. When I talk about gold and silver, I'm talking about real physical gold and silver. Citadel, they say that there's, you know, because of everything that happened with GME and AMC and all these hedge funds are in big trouble. And Citadel, of course, works very closely with because high frequency trading, they're working closely with Robinhood and so on. I think they're fine for now. What happens when the next market crash comes? Then we're going to find out. We're going to find out what the problems are. Interview Danielle. Yes. She's a former Fed advisor and will likely grant an interview. I should. I've seen her doing the interview rounds. I have not contacted her. I've contacted a few people and they haven't replied to me, but certainly I would like that. Sly, I appreciate everybody, for even the thumbs up, for the views, for anything. I appreciate any type of support. I really do. Deutsche Bank has been steadily falling. Yeah, I'm not sure how Deutsche Bank still exists. They were going to actually combine themselves with Commerce Bank. That never happened. I think it was just too. It's like, what do we do? Take two pieces of garbage and put it together? It's been 12 years of money printing and zero interest rates. Why do you think? I'm not sure what that says. Instability. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, Johnny, but yeah, I think that what they've done is back themselves into a corner, so they can't get out of that, and of course, it has to collapse as a result. Much love. Thank you for that. An investor today is a reaper tomorrow. Some people are spreading lies in the certainty. No. Don't worry. Don't even. I've seen this before so many times. There's so much speculation. I want to see when something is actually put into effect and taken place. I want to see it make change, and then let's worry about it, because there's an infinite number of future possibilities. Okay, BlackRock. They use our 401k. What you talking about, Willis? The thing. If you're a sheep and you have no clue about money, will we love your new CDBC chains? Yeah, it's going to be a problem. There's no they're gonna restrict freedom and liberty more. Should I buy gold? I can't tell you what to do. Absolutely. But I would say to people that they should be diversified and use risk parity. Okay, that's my new thing, risk parity. Hit the like button. Absolutely. Thank you. We got 700 people in here now, but I'm way over. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I gotta get the video done. Excellent. 681 watching, 670. Almost everybody hit that like button. A few people fell asleep. That's okay. Look at the buy a house in California. I would say if you're earning money, like if you're already getting paid in California, you're going to be paying a lot of tax. That's for sure. It's one of the most taxed places they have. I don't have any particular advice for you. I would just say that you got to have a lot of money, and like in terms of property taxes too, it's expensive. Not the most expensive, but certainly just when you think of the prices that you're paying in the house and so on. SLV, no, I don't consider that physical. Okay, guys, I don't. Real estate is fantastic. I love real estate, but the prices are so extreme in so many places. Like if you try to buy real estate as an investment to make cash flow in some of the biggest cities around, you're not going to be able to make money. You're simply waiting on the appreciation, but eventually somebody gets screwed over on that, right? It might take 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. All right, guys, I have to go. I gotta go. I keep seeing comments and it's read my super chat. What is it? I didn't see Jansen. The last super chat I have is this one. If it's here, Bruce was the last one I have. I'm sorry if I missed the super chat. Read my super chat. I'm sorry, I don't see it. There's another one here, you're saying? Yeah, Jamson, you're saying this a few times. Did I miss it? I thought I got to all of them. Shout out, thank you very much, JK. Shout out from the UK. What triggers you the most right now? What am I worried about the most? So what I would say is obviously inflation picking up beyond September. They're now starting to put those warnings in that, it's going to be a year and a half or whatever. I think beyond September, then this is more of a permanent factor. That was the one. I missed two. I apologize if I did. I'm sorry if I don't know how to get these back. Could you post them again? If I missed somebody's, I apologize. Could anybody tell me what Jamson, I believe, and is there somebody else? Here comes the truth. Did we break the 1 trillion? No, we have not. I haven't checked the days, but I don't think so. Last time I checked was $800 billion. Baron, thank you. Keep up the great work. Been listening for a couple of years now. Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate that. There's been people that have been around a long time, and I'm really, really thankful for everybody that's coming around. Really. That's funny. Shad, $5. Okay. So I don't see them. I do not see, can the people who I didn't get to, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why it didn't pop up. Can you just post something right now? Why am I not seeing it? I'm seeing everybody's comments. So on my screen, it shows me the ones that have come up recently, and I don't see these names on here. I really apologize. So listen, if I didn't get to anybody, I'll tell you right now, please email me, david@themoneygps.com, or sign up for the insiders. I will respond to you by email directly. Okay. I'll put a thoughtful email together. Just email me, please. I apologize. I will get to you. I will do that. I'll make that a priority. Okay. How do you like live streaming? Very cool. But apparently I've gone on already half an hour too long. So this is too much. I gotta get on that. What's your favorite YouTube channel besides the Money GPS? Depends. I got a few, depending on the topic. I don't watch anybody else that in the financial realm, in the economy realm. So I don't have any advice on that. I dig around. I don't have a particular favorite, but there's certainly I don't have a particular favorite. So a couple in-depth history of what the GPS talks about, family, societies, etc. Take care. Yes, absolutely, will do. Why is Bloomberg still here? I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry for anybody. I don't see them. Okay. Gerald Salente. Yeah, I should interview him. Yeah. Nancy, it's true. I'm one of those people who says bye 50 times before I leave. Okay. We're done. Thank you. I'm gonna exit. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. This will post to YouTube after. You could check it out. If you have any questions, email me, contact me, and that's it. Stay tuned. I'm gonna try to do this every night for half an hour. I'll be serious with it tomorrow. I'll do this for half an hour, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'll try to do that every night. I'm going to end it off. If I missed your super chat, I really apologize. Email me at david@themoneygps uplifting.com. And that's it. I'm going to end the broadcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And stay tuned for my video. It'll post tomorrow morning. So thank you. Take care, everyone.